So what am I doing? I'm making this. Why am I making this? Should have asked that before I turned the camera on. Oh, God. So what am I doing? I am recording this video to document. I'm trying to document my process. So my name's Lee and I am a portrait artist. For this video is a nice one for me because last year, a year ago, almost to the day that I'm making this video, I picked up oil painting for the first time. I painted a few times over the last 10 years because I did a lot in illustration, graphic design, studied illustration. And last year I got persuaded by an artist to try oils for the first time. So I picked them up and it was super confusing because I had no idea what I was doing and I had no idea how to paint with them. And I got some Winsor Newtons and they came out super thick and I didn't know how to make it work and I got really annoyed, so I left it. Then I went to Cassart and I got some advice from a lady that worked there and she helped me out and she told me what to buy, how to mix it, all this stuff. So I went home and I painted my first portrait. I thought I'd just give it a go and see where my level was, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. So immediately I thought, this is different. This is different from my drawings. It just adds a whole new depth and a whole new layer. So I worked my ass off, and for a year all I did was learn how to use the medium, learn how to paint in oils, how to blend, learn about values, color theory, took a couple of workshops, entered some competitions, sold some paintings, took part in an exhibition, and last week I finished my first commission, and I'm going to talk through what I did, why I did certain things in it. So without further rambling on, I'll show you what's up. So up on screen now is the start of the time lapse. So you'll notice I actually have the grid on the screen. So I'll bring this down here. So I have the grid on the canvas. And that grid I use for likeness and to get the drawing accurate. So as much as they're coming to me to get a piece of work done and they want me to put my touch to it and paint it well and whatever, I know that the likeness is important because I'm painting it of someone that they care about. And this portrait happened to just be quite an important one for my first commission because it was a recommendation from someone who bought my first painting and my only one that I've sold. And this person has asked me to paint their sister who passed away. Yeah, so basically that's why I've started with the grid. So I bring the video up now and we'll crack on. So I do the first underdrawing, which is just getting it accurate. So I do the eyes, nose and mouth. And then what you'll see there is I've put on an underpainting, which is just a neutral color. So this is burnt sienna, I think. This is just so that I can get the correct values. So it's a lot easier to judge the right colors on a neutral color compared to white. So what you'll see me start to do is block in some dark areas and midtones. Dark areas for me, it's just a nice way where I can say, okay, cool, so that's roughly as dark as I'll go. I might go a bit darker than that, so it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the painting. And instead of doing any light tones, which I like to do at the end, I like to block in all the midtones first and just kind of really build on them. The midtones for me are a nice way of me going, okay, cool, so that's roughly where the painting will sit in terms of light or darkness. And then I can change the contrast up or down as I feel. Yeah, so I've used my ruler to redraw some of the painting, and this is where I've gone over the eyes. I've blocked in some colors, so a bit of the grays in the eyes, because as we all know, the whites in the eyes aren't white. So to not overwork certain areas, I like to dance around and come back to them. So what you'll see now is me blocking in some of the background to really see how she looks and the skin tones and the hair looks against the kind of color the kind of color background that I want to use. And then I bring it across the face, and then I start basically kind of back in on the details, and then I jump around from the eyes to the hair to the skin, and I just kind of dance around the painting a little bit. So now I'm just kind of building up the eyes. So really subtly building one at a time, seeing what colors I can use, and I use the same palette quite a lot as well. So I've done one subtly, and there was me getting excited about a new book that my girlfriend bought me. So I've done one eye, and I want to build up the other one now. And again, I'm not too worried about the drawing because I can get that back at any time. I just need to make it look nice. And when I've done what I think is enough on the eyes for now, I'll move down the face and I'll go to the nose. So the shadows on either side are a bit dark, so I want to darken them, lighten them, darken them, lighten them, and keep bringing them the contrast up and down on these areas, and move slowly lower down the face to the smile lines, the lips, the cheeks, and just keep blending in these areas. So for this painting in particular, this was the first time that I really took a step forward in my learning of how to create realism. I tried a blending technique, which is just thin the paint with some linseed oil. Not too thin, because I don't like it too watery, but I load up a small brush with a thin amount of paint, and I just really subtly put the paint on and do kind of some gentle strokes and just kind of repetitive strokes on the area. Yeah, so I'll talk through the rest of the blending. I'll carry on the video. So I go to the lips, and I notice with the lips, although in real life you see quite a hard edge, usually around the corners of the lips, there's some quite soft edges there where the lips almost blend into the skin around it. So I really tried to draw that out and use that. And then around the rest of the face, the chin, the neck, I just tried to keep really working and pushing on this blending technique. So I do the eyebrows a bit, shape them properly. Then after I've done that, and after I've done what I think is maybe enough, I start jumping around the painting again. And I think this is the point. I've paused it now and I'll bring it down. So I start building on the background now. And what I like to do is move some of the colors of the background into the face and into the subject, and vice versa. So move some of the colors on the subject outside and back into the background. And what I like to do as well, which I think I did in the hair, which is to move the same colors that I've used from one area to another. So I won't mix a part of the palette and then just put it here on a cheek and then mix a different part and put it here. I like to use the same colors around the painting. I think for me, it creates an air of familiarity with the painting as a whole, rather than just having this large mix of different colors. I could just be making that up. Yeah, so at the end of it as well, I mean, that's pretty much the entire painting. But yeah, at the end of it, what I like to do is paint the edges of the canvas if I'm using thin or deep edge canvas. I just think it looks nicer. So I paint the edges of the canvas as well, include some of the background techniques, and that is done. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it on a frame. Leave it on a frame where you can see the painting. So there are certain areas like the eyes where if you look up close on them, I mean, they don't look super neat or fantastic. I mean, the painting as a whole, if you look at any specific area, it doesn't look like a person's neat skin or a neat face or whatever, or a shadow. But I think what I'm figuring out about oils is that there's a good distance from which you can stand from them to really appreciate the painting as a whole. Frustratingly, my video cut out. So now I just have a bunch of audio of me rambling on, and I could not be bothered to record more at that point. So I've changed clothes and I'm here to record an outro. What do I want to say? I don't know, I've enjoyed it. This has been nice. That was pretty much all I wanted to say about the painting. Obviously there's more ramblings in between that I've cut out, that where I was banging on about my life and stuff that has nothing to do with this commission. Oh, behind me, so the scene has changed. There is my second commission, which I'm working on. Yeah, the second video will be about that. I'm gonna make more of these for sure. I feel as though this is gonna be a long journey. I really wanted to just cement something in from the beginning. Yeah, I'll sort out some of the lighting issues on the time lapses as I go on and get better at editing, which is just fun to see how bad I am at it. But I've enjoyed this. This has been quite fun. I didn't know what to make of it and I quite like it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And yeah, catch you on the next one.
Big, stand, so big.